two of our new staff members that are at the end of the table. So over there is Ridhi Parikh, who's coming to us from Rutgers University.
Yes.
And has a wonderful smile, does she not?
Oh.
And
Thank you so much.
Jay Bardwaj, did I do that right?
Yeah.
Bardwaj. Pretty close. Jay, give us a little bit of where you're here from.
Yeah, exactly. I'm currently doing masters in Rutgers Business School. So I'm here for my summer internship. So I'm working on data analysis project for extracting the reviews of the customers regarding MTA from the social media platforms. And I actually analyze all the reviews based upon the different algorithms using software and all. And I used to present what's the result behind why the people they are actually using those sentiments. So I'm doing data mining on that project.
Great. Welcome to both of you. Thank you so much.
Rutgers?
Yes.
Business school in Newark.
Yeah, no, I heard it's a business school, I just knew Rutgers.
Is it in Newark? Really?
Yes, he's half Rutgers,
Oh,
and
oh,
she's
okay.
and
Yeah,
NJ
they're
Transit.
Rutgers.
NJ
You're in New Brunswick.
Yeah, I'm in New
Yes.
Brunswick.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
She's at the Blasting School.
Yeah, Blasting, I remember
Well,
that.
that's where Rutgers is.
Thank you so much,
Thank
folks.
Thank you.
Thank
Sure.
Have a good summer.
Dinner's ready.
Oh, it's Mrs.
What else we have? We have, press.
Chris, you
Chris,
wanted,
you have a presentation?
Yes.
do something.
Yes. And I'm gonna ask Deborah to come to the front so I can do this.
Give me 1 second to swallow.
I'll give you
Andrew, as you know, I had to carry this with all my life today. As you know, transit, part of being in my other hat, and Deborah was the chair of the advisory council, we had an art contest every year. This year was transportation, and as you know, Bradley couldn't be there because he was, he's been very busy with the Atlantic ticket. You guys were nominated in 2 places. One person, and I'll mention in a few minutes, one was nominated for PCAC because of the Atlantic ticket. A lot of families and people with disabilities nominated you guys because you guys, your website's been always up to date. It's 80, I will say that it's a date because Edith's not here.
Almost always up to date.
It's up to date. No, it's up to date. It's up to date. I'm sorry, but I have 10 individuals can tell you, you're up to date. If they can understand the website, we can sleep. So they nominated the PCAC. Instead of these fancy little other things, they gave you guys a fancy trophy. The Brooklyn Advisory Council's 2018 award goes to the PCAC.
Nice.
We're thinking of people with
Very nice.
because of all the work we've done to make it easy for our direct care professionals. We're now able to get around, and we have a lot of them who live in Southeast Queens where the Long Island Railroad comes through. And now because of that, they've been making it on time, so parents who need these people to help watch their children, even though they're physically adults, they're cognitively aged of like a 10-year-old, and you can't leave someone that way alone. So now they've been coming on time, and they're so thankful.
They're using Atlantic ticket?
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
And
Yes.
I can tell you this, we have been, let me tell you, even today, I went past there because the ENF were acting up. There was a mobster getting on, you can't even get, some of the trains are sold out because everyone's using it. And it was packed today.
Where are we talking about?
Atlantic Terminal. It was packed because the ENF has switch problems, so they all said, oh, they told us to come here because we can get the Atlantic and go faster.
That's true.
I'm sorry, but I'm telling
And make it also easier for us when
let
we
me-
have to get to Jamaica for emergencies.
Oh,
other
well,
than-
if you're going from downtown Brooklyn to Jamaica, nothing's faster than the Long Island Railroad.
Yeah. Also, Andrew, you were nominated.
Yes, you were.
Because you've always been a big supporter on a lot of things. If I mention it, we'll be here tomorrow.
I'll mention what
No,
it is
well,
quickly.
You already said it.
No, I will mention, the other reason is that you have defended people who have half their Metro cards, who are lower income. You're constantly having the voice for everyone who is not on board. So we are awarding this to you because we appreciate how you've advocated
so
for
much.
everyone.
And every time we try to get you to come once. So now this time,
We
it's
brought
on,
it to you.
we brought it to you, now it's on camera, so you don't say I didn't give you anything.
And we also give you both of the ribbons we gave
It's
to
like
our
Mets
artists.
No,
Yeah, it
there's
was,
no orange there.
no, we gave it to, ribbons were given to our artists. We have their
That's an easel.
pictures, they are amazing. And
And I did email you guys.
I hope you
And
saw those
Bradley, I know you
pictures.
got
Did
the
you
email.
see the photos?
We had
What'd you
some
think of those
artists, I have to
pictures?
be honest with you, if you see the artists, and I did ask if they, Bill, if it's possible, can you forward the email to the
Yeah, I
TRC
can do
members?
that, I'll do it now.
Because these two artists, you can, these, well, three, but there are two that you think are you sure they're coloring or drawing? It was amazing.
That's
One
really
artist
amazing.
can, the way he draws, you swear, you think it's a photo, but it's not. His mother says he's always been able to do it, so we were so
That's
happy
fabulous.
to.
Brent, do you have some artwork from this person?
It's actually on
It's you sent
Oh,
it in the email?
yeah,
Oh,
email.
okay.
I couldn't
Cool.
carry it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, we have elections of officers and discussion of the executive committee representation.
And that's just because because you're the chair both of TRC and of PCAC, so we have, there's a choice that's been made to add a person to the PCAC executive committee who happens
Did
to
we
be Bill
discuss this
Gill.
in a previous meeting?
Yes, we've discussed that every time it's sort of come up, that we need another person, and it's currently Bill Gill.
Right.
We did not have nominations at the last meeting, so we have sort of an open slate, but if anyone wants to make a nomination right now, without prejudice towards the proceedings, I will say that in the past, there have been, nominations have been made of the current slate, which is Andrew as chair, Bert as vice chair, and then Chris, Bill Gill, and Stuart as the executive committee. And should anyone want to make a nomination that may or may not include those people,
But Bert didn't have a bandage on his hand when he was nominated last
He
time.
did it. You might have to take that, you might have to take his, you might have to take his ability to swipe into account when you make this decision.
It's a good thing the new fare payment is.
Well,
Trudy?
may I make a motion that we renominate or re-elect, or whatever the correct wording
A
is,
sentence.
the current,
He said,
or whatever, yes, the current slate of officers as stands.
Is there a second? No second.
I'll second.
Oh, okay.
I'll second.
Thank you. Can you second for yourself? I guess you can.
No,
Gonna have
yeah.
trouble getting it on.
would you care to second?
I'll second.
Thank you. I'll let-
Edith is here.
I was trying to
Okay.
get,
Is today the vote?
Today's the vote.
Do we do a secret? Oh, what?
Well,
There's no-
if there was no other,
Are there any other
if there were no
nominations?
other nominations, it doesn't
Okay.
make much sense.
No, we don't have to do a
You
secret.
could direct, I guess, me to cast one vote in favor of the
Bill,
slate,
Bill, can you cast the one vote, please?
okay, and
As
everyone
the
agrees with
maker of
that?
the nomination, I asked Bill to cast one vote
Okay,
for all of us.
okay, and is everyone in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
We have a bylaw change. The term of TRC officers.
Okay.
This has come up before, and we have had a little discussion of it. I suspect we'll have a little again
I'm
today.
not exactly certain why I'm passing it out, because it isn't an extensive change, but.
Because we have a copier.
Because because copies are free.
Because paper,
Yeah,
free is already
Printing
dead.
is free, and it's a.
And in two colors.
It's a color printer.
Mm,
Bill,
wow.
Bill,
So-
am I correct in assuming that this change would put us in compliance with the other two commuter councils?
It would, we would be the
That's the
same
idea.
as the other two councils.
Not
I
compliance,
believe
but in
the-
agreement?
I believe that our current situation, our current setup was done because technically everybody has a 2-year term, and if you had somebody appointed for a 2-year term, you might elect them for a period past their term, and then they might not be here, and then you wouldn't have an officer around. That does not, well, that's still technically the way things work. People are very seldom replaced on the councils. Well, I'll say that. So,
And seldom appointed to them,
and
unfortunately.
unfortunately seldom appointed. So I would,
Any discussion on this proposed bylaw revision? Don't all sound off at once.
we can't vote on this at this meeting. We
Right.
have to
Has to be
read,
30
we have
days.
to read it at first, at one meeting and then vote on it at the next. So this is more for an information item today.
Okay. The spirit of this is that we would be in agreement with the way the other two commuter councils elect their officers as opposed to every year, which is what we have been doing for, since we started.
Since we started, I think this is an original provision.
Yeah, I think it is. Bradley, do you want to say something? Oh, yes.
Can I just ask, do you think that there's a chance that Duncan's gonna show up?
I do not believe so.
What's the question?
We're the sign language.
We were asked to
Oh,
provide
sorry.
sign language interpreters, and our client who would have availed himself of the services is not here.
Has
So
not shown up, so
And
I think
I
it's
think
pretty
we're-
long now, so I think
we're
thank you very
fairly
much.
safe. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry you didn't have anything to do, but
That's all.
we will. The check is in the mail.
Thanks for providing the
Okay.
Thank you. Trudy?
I was gonna bring this up with Ellen because she was the one who introduced me to, what's his name, Vincent? Our
Vincent Jenkins is the individual's name
Jenkins, yes.
who
I
asked
have been
for.
getting calls from him through this, but when I try to return the call, if they leave, they say, this is, each
Yeah.
time it's a different phone number.
Yeah.
And when I try to call back, now I know his name, which I didn't know until yesterday when Deborah gave me his name.
Yes.
But, can I finish? Okay. But the thing is that with this hearing, whatever it's called, the translate, I forget what it's called.
American Sign
Interpreter.
Language translator.
No, not sign language, this is on the phone.
TTY.
TTY, whatever that stands for. That each time it's coming from a different phone number on my phone. And most of the time it goes into my voicemail. I'm not always picking up the phone. And then when I try to call that number back and they say, who are you calling? It's like, yeah, but they don't know who called me.
They don't.
So I can't return the call.
Right.
And yesterday, after I got the name from Deborah, I tried calling one of those. I now have 7 numbers, I can give them to you, back.
They probably have a battery of numbers they call
But
you from.
I don't want him to think that Ellen asked me if I would take the time to talk with him, and I'm happy to, but I can't get back to him.
Yeah.
He does have a phone number. I have two.
His own phone number?
Yes, I have,
And you have an email, right, Deborah?
and an email, right.
Okay, well, if somebody gives it to me, I just feel my Jewish guilt
This
is operating overtime.
been, unfortunately, the same that happened with DIA.
Yeah.
And we also have had, we arranged for interpreters, et cetera, and he never shows.
Yes. We're going, this particular time, he requested an interpreter very late.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, and we did our best to get somebody in. We were telling him through the process that we did not have anybody, and we sent him an email this morning and said,
We
"We've
have
got
to have
somebody."
a policy, and the policy has to state
Well,
how far in advance.
we have told him 14 days. The company's policy is they cannot guarantee anything unless you give them 5 days notice.
Right.
So we're going to be more
How much
forceful.
notice do they require for cancellation?
We have to have two. It's 2 days. 2 days.
48 hours.
We need to tell Vincent.
Can I get back to will you give me the number, will somebody give me a number where I can return the
Yes.
call? Okay, because
I mean,
We're
it's
gonna-
a service we're happy to provide, but if you can't make the meeting, you really need to be able to.
We're going to be much more,
We
That-
try to
that
put
could
it
be
in.
forceful about what the
writing.
requirements are.
Okay, you have to put it in writing.
We do.
Because I know this guy.
We have sent him
I mean,
materials.
stuff
Okay,
happens,
Say-
I understand
Say
that.
when he needs to request.
excuse me, for some reason, he now seems to be reaching out to me in the last couple of weeks. And so if you will, somebody will give me the phone number and an email, so I can.
We will.
And I'll
We will.
return, and you'll tell me what I should tell him about arranging to, excuse me, about arranging for an interpreter for anything else, okay? I'll be happy to do that.
Okay,
Okay,
we'll get you the,
And,
thank you.
On letterhead, email to him.
and Andrew, question to ask, because this is a new business question. I know we did the election for us.
we sort of need to do old business first, if you don't mind.
No, this is still new business.
I know, but we didn't do old business yet.
I know.
I'll tell you.
I just had a question about the PCAC. We have to elect someone to represent PCAC?
No,
Oh,
no,
because
that's a
on-
piece, that's actually at the PCAC meeting, and it's only every 2 years, so it's not
Okay, I'm just
next
double
year.
checking, because that's why I was confused.
It's
No, no, that was every 2 years. We were every 1 year.
Yeah, I just wanted to make clear, because
Can we go into some old business now, folks? Yeah, Chris?
old businesses, do we have any, what's the update regarding, buses?
That's a big topic.
It's,
No, I'm just asking you, man, I'm asking.
Are we talking about
said you were gonna-
conversion to electric
No, no,
buses?
no.
Are we talking about the bus service plan? I mean, what are we talking? Complaints?
Complaints that we put in, I'd just like to know any update to begin respond back.
When are we gonna have a meeting with them?
That's
The
number
more
two.
important.
We're arranging.
Yeah, I know, and Christmas.
And
Christmas
it
is
should be in
coming,
July,
it's not-
so don't worry.
Yeah.
Christmas is kind of now in 6 months, and we've been waiting longer
July.
than for a meeting.
How's
No,
that?
I am really serious. I spoke to Bill about.
It'll be
Excuse
Christmas in
me.
July, Trudy.
Excuse me. I spoke to, oh, it's now July. No, it's still June.
No,
It's-
the meeting will be in
It's
July.
July Saturday.
July of this year.
This year.
Okay.
Just working out dates.
Because there are some new problems that have come up with.
I heard.
No, really horrendous. And it is getting so bad. I don't want my letters answered anymore because it's the same old answer. I think they just run it out of I was going to say a mimeograph machine, but I'm really.
Boy, you're dating yourself.
Yeah, you're damn right. But I am telling you, well, it's for seniors also. A lot of the seniors who use the buses are having this problem.
Yeah.
And so we are going to have a
That's like
meeting
that's
in
like
July.
back to Betamax days, huh?
Will you please check with me, Chris, and Edith? I think we are the three, excuse me, I think we are the three who are demanding the meeting to find out, to make sure that all three of us are available for whenever
We
you
will certainly
send
try
us
to
a
get
meeting.
it the
Because
most.
I don't want it again that you have the meeting and I can't come.
I don't either.
That,
Because then
you
you'll be
damn
doing
well-
the same-
You know you don't want it,
I
because
don't
you'll
want
hear
that.
from me about it.
Deborah?
I have a big complaint about a bus issue. And one issue that I've had, I was very glad to meet the gentleman at the ADA committee. But I will tell you.
Which gentleman was it? Just,
What's his name?
Alex.
No, not Alex,
No.
The new guy?
not the
No.
ADA guy.
The new Andy, or what his name is, whatever.
No, the new Chris Lake.
But
No,
one
it was
thing
not
that
this
happened,
way.
this happened after me. Every time I go to my community board meeting, which happens to be Kingsborough Community College, the last stop is Mackenzie. Now, they think they can drop me off at Lancome, Kensington. Kensington means I have to walk 2 extra blocks, and if you ever saw on the map how long it is to walk into, just to get to the front gate of Kingsborough, that's a lot. Yes, I did speak to the dispatcher. She could have pulled up. I said, can't you pull up? No, I can't. And I looked at her, really? So we made the complaint to the
is that because
dispatcher.
the end of the line is where she pulled up to and she?
No. She's not by the bus stop, she's.
They
talking
do
about.
this on a regular basis. The B1 recording, I said, well, this is the last stop. I said, no, it's not. It's Mackenzie. And this needs to stop. They,
Same issue.
now,
Is it the same operator every time?
all of them,
All of them?
all of them.
Can I just clarify? She's talking about Homo Park that I did mention.
Yeah, I mean, we're
a few
gonna get
months
this
ago.
meeting, so you don't
No,
actually have to.
no, I'm just letting you know. It's still continuing this problem. The problem is the drivers are now not want to follow what dispatchers tell us them.
Yep.
So
Yeah, because
it's
dispatcher-
I'm gonna say.
And you have sent Bill
Yes.
the badge numbers of these
Yes.
operators?
You know you can't get badges, you
You
have
can't
to
get the
you have to
badge.
get
It's
the
not hanging there?
Bus number.
No.
The
No,
eco
they don't
number,
wear it.
the
Wear
vehicle
it.
number.
So you give them the vehicle number, right?
Unless they
Well, we
give
can figure out the operator by the
them
vehicle
not only
number.
on report for all the ills that they're doing, but
They don't
also
display
for not
them even.
wearing
I
their
think that's the
badge
rule.
number.
I know
And when you call it in, you say, because they can trace
Deborah, isn't that the
But
word?
you put them on report
That knows
because
it's
they're not only
she's
supposed to
not
be
giving
wearing
us
it,
that back.
but it has to be visible
Deborah?
to the passenger.
Aren't-
Because a lot of
aren't
times
operators
they have it turned around
mandated
and say,
to-
Yes,
"I
they
had
put
it
it
on,
upside
ladies,"
down.
or no, but they put
in
it
the
backwards,
pocket.
or they put it backwards.
Okay.
And I have
You don't
now,
read enough buses.
I
I
ride
think
them
the
all the
last
time.
two that I gave
Put
you,
'em on the
I
left
said
side.
the
Your
man, they
drivers
refused
are
to show me
better
the
than
bag.
Howard.
Edith, they put them on the left shoulder so the kids.
But you tell them
left
that.
shoulder.
they
That's
put
right.
them on
That's
the
right.
left
That's
side.
right.
Okay,
Okay,
folks,
great.
folks,
Excuse me,
folks, one at a time, please, it's really hard to hear. Edith,
the 15, the SBS.
Oh, M15.
Thank you.
Keep my phone.
Ends up, the last stop, it's hysterical. Like in the middle of a bus yard.
Yeah, it goes past the depot and once.
But there's no curb,
Right.
there's no putting
oh, you
the
mean
ramp down.
126th Street Depot?
No, it's a rotten
126.
last stop.
And you know, I've spoken about this numerous times, and it's ridiculous. That should not be the last stop. They should come onto they should make the left turn and drop us by the gas station. On rainy weather, you're being deposited into puddles. And there's,
I saw that stop once, actually, it's a little bizarre.
I've taken it too.
Disgusting.
It's a
good
bad
word.
stop.
I don't know why they opted to make that the last stop either.
Andrew, that is a wonderful word to describe so much of what goes on with buses. Can we have that as our new mantra for bus service?
It's a little
Bizarre.
weird. Yeah, it's a little bizarre.
I also took the 14A across last week. It was such a nightmare. At 6:30 at night. Driver did not curb. He was so far out, when he opened the flap was flat on the street. I had to go off the curb with assistance and then go up the ramp. There were two ladies with shopping carts getting off in front of Whole Foods where he was so far out that there was a good 3 feet of street showing at the end of the ramp.
Nothing preventing him from curbing, right?
He only curbed when he had the full block open. If anything at all was in there, he was not curbing. It reminded me of the guy on the Upper East Side who told me they weren't allowed to curb. They weren't allowed to pull in.
No, you know what their excuse is now? If there is anything in the whole length of the block, but anything, a bicycle even, they say, I can't pull into the stop because I'm being blocked.
That'll be a subject of our talk.
No, I'm just telling you
I'm
now to answer her question.
No,
About
you
they
don't need
refuse
to
to
answer
curb.
my question.
Oh.
I am telling Bill the question, okay?
No, I'm compounding your question.
We all understand,
Yeah,
we've all been,
I've
we've all
seen
had this
Right.
happen to
I've
us.
seen it, and
Right.
I wheeled through it,
Yeah.
so
Right,
I
right.
understand the
Let's
issue.
find out what the actual policy, I mean,
My
it's
concern
not
is
easy to drive an
that,
articulated bus in
um,
Manhattan traffic, but still.
They're not driving.
yes, if this was an Arctic.
No, but I mean, they're not driving. This is stopping driving and just
Right,
parking.
right.
That is, or curbing.
Well, we're
It's
gonna
very
find out all of
different
these things.
from
But
driving
let's
and
move on, because our
Arctic.
speakers are,
I'm ready.
Old business, again,
all
short,
still old business, yes.
short turns,
Short turns, that's on the,
things missing, you
Yep.
know, falling off the map,
yep,
off the electronic map.
Same here.
that's on the bus list of topics for sure.
Added to Brooklyn and Staten Island.
All right, Ken.
Yeah,
Queens.
quick old business, you mentioned a couple months ago in terms of the design of subway cars with a handrail to grab the parallel bar, about how high up it is. It's too
Yeah, the
high.
R211 prototype had it much too high.
Well, I bumped my head several times on it, coming out
But
of
they're
it.
not in service yet, so I don't know what, you didn't bump your head on an R211, that's for sure.
Well, it's about 6 feet up, the
That sounds
bar.
like a
What
68.
line were you on, Ken?
I don't know, A and C probably, so
Okay.
I use most. But to me, I want to mention, is it possible it's time to reconsider strap hanging some places? where
There
some
are.
people want something low to grab and some people don't want to bump their heads on it?
There are straps on a lot of buses, not on
Oh, he's
trains.
talking about
I'm talking
trains.
about the subways.
No, but what I'm saying, if they could do it on buses, they can do it on the trains.
Yeah,
I think obviously the problem with straps was they wore out.
Yeah,
People
right.
pulled them and they had to keep being replaced. They
People
weren't
got
strong
hit
enough
with
for
them.
some folks.
they have higher quality material nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, perhaps, we can ask, that can be another subject.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other old before we move into new? Let's go to new then. New business.
I think we already did.
We didn't do new. Ken?
Yeah, a quickie. In terms of announcing subway stops, at 42nd Street in Grand Central, several times I hear the announcement of the 7 train, which terminates way over on the 10th Avenue, and they call it 34th Street. And I think that may confuse a lot of people because at Grand Central, of course, a lot of people want to get a train down to 34th Street on the 456 too. So I think they should find a different way to identify the end of the
They say
7
34
line,
Hudson
rather than
Yards.
calling it 34th Street.
I thought they said Hudson Yards.
They do.
Yeah.
Aren't the R
It
one?
is part of the.
Well, but I've heard an announcement just saying 34th Street train, blah, blah, blah.
But good luck getting down to 34th Street on a 4 or 5, Ken.
There is no.
Yeah, there is no 34.
I'm sorry, 6.
That's what I'm looking. Even,
It's 33rd.
it's 33rd.
And it's
You
only
would all
on the
know
6th,
that.
right.
Whoops, okay,
That's what I'm looking
okay.
at, huh?
I retract
Stuart,
my
did you have your hand
concern.
up?
Yeah, I did.
And then Trudy?
33rd.
And then we got to move on.
So, through work, I've been visiting the
Okay.
East New York Brownsville section. I've been riding the railroad, so they're definitely announcing the Atlantic ticket
Good to
frequently
hear.
on the platforms. However, they're not checking or collecting tickets in both directions with any regularity.
Start getting on at East New York?
Getting off, for me, getting off at East New York and getting on at East New York.
And where were you riding to? How-
No, I was riding from Atlantic Terminal to East New
So
York.
between Atlantic Terminal and East New York, they're not checking?
They're not
Yeah, I
checking.
mentioned to you when we were on the train that time.
And
I'm not,
it's-
I have a feeling they're checking just before Jamaica, but that could be why.
That also could,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, typically the LIRR conductor protocol is you check on the way in, and you check after Jamaica.
But
So if
on
you're-
the way in, if you boarded Atlantic Terminal, they
Right.
should be checking.
Right, and that's the thing, it's one check on one side of Jamaica, one check on the other, and
I can't tell you whether the trains are any more crowded than they normally would be, but they were definitely doing vigorous advertising.
yes.
And posters as well.
That's good to know, and we will report that.
Yeah.
And of course, on a westbound train, prior to getting to Jamaica, they've got to be announcing Atlantic tickets are not good if the train is bound for Penn Station. You know, please transfer here for trains to Brooklyn. Or they've got to say that. Otherwise, all these people are going to be riding between Forest Hills and Kew Gardens and Woodside. They're going to be all of a sudden realize that they don't have the proper, and then they'll be charged the on-board fare, and we don't want that.
I did not hear that the other day, I will say, I wasn't going, but I'm just saying, it wasn't, an announcement was not made. I was on a train coming into Penn, but I did not hear any announcement.
You didn't hear it prior to Jamaica?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
That's too, we don't want people doing the wrong thing here. We want this to be a success, so,
I was coming in from Hicksville.
okay. Trudy?
Yeah, I've been going for various events down to the new Hudson Yards, the ones that are built, and I've also been talking to I forget her title is, but she's like the third-ranking person at the, Lisa Joya at the related companies with Steve Ross. And one of the problems which I found, and I thought I knew my way around, is that each time, just to get to one location, because of all the building that's going on down there, in the subway, downstairs, going up the escalator, and then at the entrance on the street, the signs do not direct you how to get over to the Hudson, when you get off at 34th Street on the number 7, the last stop. And the signage is horrendous. I brought this up to them, and they said, well, we're not sure if it's our job to do that, or Department of Transportation, or the MT. I'm just telling you what they said. So
The sign
she was
directing
going
you
to
to the
look
Hudson
into
Yards
it.
development?
To the Act 30 Hudson Yards
Yeah,
is the
okay.
building where they are having most
Yeah,
of
that's
these
private.
events.
Right.
They have a beautiful
No, it's
roof
not
garden
empty.
there
No, it's
with
empty.
wonderful views. But till you
Hudson
get
Yards
there,
themselves.
because each time as the construction is going on, it's a different way. And if you follow the signs downstairs, you really go wandering all over. So if we could find out who can, on a regular basis,
I can
each
give you
time.
an answer because that happened in the Upper West Side, and the signage actually was provided by the private developer themselves.
Well, each time that they said no, that it has to go, they weren't sure if it was DOT or MTA that they, well, can we make
It's
an
definitely not
inquiry?
MTA, but we can ask.
No,
I
not
think
the
it's gonna-
street sign.
I think
not
it's
the
gonna
street
be
sign.
related.
The sign, when you get off the train, and then there are 5 different rows of escalators, and they have different, it's not the community board either, it is people who are using
What's in your
the
business
subway and going to a destination down there. And it's because of all the construction that they keep on opening and closing streets. Or else they should take down the signs that are in the subway so that you don't go the wrong way completely and just ask somebody on the street like I wound.
We'll ask MTA Real
But
Estate.
the one building that is absolutely functioning now is 30 Hudson
30 Hudson, okay.
Yard. Yeah.
Thank you. Folks, our speaker is here, and I think we should move right to her, because I think she has an interesting presentation. So let me introduce Monica DaCosta, New York City Transit Chief Officer of Operations Training, to discuss the training that is provided to subway operating personnel. We've had many issues raised about what personnel should or should not be doing, and things that we suggested they might want to do. So this is a great opportunity to hear what they're actually trained and permitted to do. So Monica, thank you so much. You have a PowerPoint, correct?
It's some pictures behind.
All right.
I think we're gonna run it behind your
Yeah.
talk.
If you
this
run
way.
it behind my.
Do you want to go to the podium so the light's not in your eyes? 'Cause
Sure, I'll do that, and then this way I'm not blocking.
let me get the chair out of the way. Oh, it's not in the way. Okay.
Good afternoon, how's everybody? Good. Good. Should I stand here? What do you feel most comfortable with? Well, I'll just sit right here. I think this would be most comfortable for me. It's interesting coming in to the conversation. You guys are quite expressive, so I hope you'll be a little nice with me today, this afternoon. Okay, great. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, once again, I'm Monica DaCosta. You heard my title, which just means that I'm responsible for the safety, technical, and maintenance training for Department of Subway and Operations Training. So I like to say that I'm responsible for the division that provides training for the very people who clean the stations, all the way to the folks who operate the trains, and then fix and also repair the train cars. So everything in between, it falls within my purview. I've been with New York City Transit for 5 years, just reached my 5-year anniversary a little earlier this year. And prior to that, I was with the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey for almost 9 years. So I've been in transportation for a little bit of time. And it's been, I always like to say I fell into transportation. So just to tell you a little bit about operations training. Operations training, again, provides training to all of Department of Subways, most of Department of Subways hourly, supervisory, and some of the management folks. If you hold your questions to the end, that'd be great. Did you have a question? Okay.
No, I was just looking at the pictures.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about those pictures.